Wait a minute. I thought the mainstream media was pushing this narrative that they cared about the WNBA. I thought the media was pushing this narrative that they cared about all dump divers in the WNBA equally. For weeks, we have been told by the media that there's more to the WNBA than Catilin Clark. There are 143 other players in this league that airball dunks and miss wide open layups just as well, if not better, than Catilin Clark. Matter of fact, there's probably 140 players in the WNBA who are better at missing wide open layups since, Catilin Clark actually has the ability to make shots. They are damn sure better at missing wide open passes. I mean, how many times this season have we seen Catilin Clark emulate John Stockton or Magic Johnson and fire a laser to one of her wide open teammates only for the unknown role player to watch the ball roll into the front row? Over the past 6, maybe 7 weeks, the mainstream media, they have begged us to look past Catilin Clark and pay attention to Angel Reese and the other 142 unknown players in the dump. I'm sure it will come to the surprise of no one in this audience that the woke media, they're not practicing what they preach. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Headline at the rancid turd that some people are still calling USA Today. You can root for Catilin Clark without tearing other WNBA players down. Take a guess. Just take a wild guess. Who do you think is responsible for writing this garbage? Well, KC, judging by the headline, this article had to be written by the Star Trek virgin Mike Freeman. No. It's a good guess, though. Good guess. We're in the middle of summer, the time of year when Comic-Con and Star Trek conventions are happening every weekend across the country. Naturally, Mike Freeman, he has been very, very busy. He's traveling to Star Trek conventions, trying to seduce the birthing person walking around dressed like a stormtrooper. I mean, as you guys know, Mike, he's got an affinity for the lightsaber. But this article, it was written by his sister in woke, Nancy Armour. Earlier this week, Granny Nancy, she decided to give us another one of her passionate lectures. Once again, Nancy, she was lecturing us on toxic masculinity. She was lecturing us on mythical racism and homophobia that is prevalent throughout the WNBA. According to Nancy, us men, we have been conditioned to believe that only one woman can be successful at a time. Yeah, those of us infected with toxic masculinity, we are so afraid of strong, powerful women that we will only allow one female to be successful at a time. According to USA Today, this is the reason that the WNBA is a huge embarrassing failure. This is the reason that the mainstream only pays attention to Catilin Clark and completely ignores the rest of the league who choose to remain anonymous. Us men, we are responsible for the drama in the WNBA. We are responsible for pitting women against each other. Never mind the fact that anonymous players in this league, they have been trying to tarnish and tear down Catilin Clark all season. Never mind the fact that women naturally compete with other women. When your wife or girlfriend, she's getting all dressed up, maybe you're going out to dinner or a concert with friends, you think she's getting all dolled up to impress you? Think again. She's getting dressed up to impress and compare herself to other women. Women are always competing with each other. Us men, we don't give a shit. We have reservations at a nice place for dinner tonight, me and my wife. Tomorrow morning, if you ask me what my wife wore to dinner tonight, I'll say something like clothes, maybe a dress. I'm not going to remember. I'm more interested in what she's not wearing. My wife, she would be able to tell you what the woman sitting 3 tables behind us is wearing from head to toe. Women are always comparing themselves and competing with other women. But Nancy Armour, she conveniently left that part out. The media can claim all they want that they are paying attention to the entire WNBA, but That narrative is complete bullshit. For the most part, the mainstream media, they only focus on Catilin Clark. Why? The same reason I and other content creators on YouTube focus on Catilin Clark, and every once in a while I'll focus on Angel Reese while ignoring the rest of the anonymous players. It pays. That's who you guys want to hear about. The difference between me and the mainstream media, I'm willing to be honest with you about it. Thursday night, though, Catilin Clark and the Indiana Felines, they played the Dump from Seattle. The Dump in Seattle, I think they call themselves the Shockers or the Shitbirds. Who cares? And what the hell's with these team names in the WNBA anyway? Most leagues, they have normal names for their teams. The Saints, the Lions, the Falcons, Hawks, or the worst team name in real sports, the Pelicans, which, by the way, I am very, very pleased with David Griffin and my Pelicans and the trade they made yesterday for DeJounte Murray. I wanted Trae Young personally, but the Pelicans gave up next to nothing to get DeJounte Murray to New Orleans, so can't be all that mad about it. Well, KC, they didn't give up next to nothing. They had to trade Dyson Daniels. He has huge potential. Dyson Daniels? Dyson Daniels is the worst offensive player I have ever seen. Hell, his offense is offensive. You thought Ben Simmons was bad? Go watch Dyson Daniels. Great kid, elite defender, but outside of the dump divers in the WNBA, I have never seen a player more afraid to score than Dyson Daniels. But anyway, most leagues, they have normal names for their teams. In the WNBA, it's the complete opposite. It's the Shockers, the Sparkles, the Dallas Wankers, the Indiana Fever. That's what you get when watching 99% of the players in this league, a fever. Thursday night, though, Katie Rue, she was playing the Dump in Seattle. The Felines have now lost 2 consecutive games. Many people are concerned that their push for the playoffs and the opportunity for the WNBA to actually draw ratings during the playoffs is quickly evaporating. After the game, Catilin Clark made herself available to the media. Unlike Angel Reese, Catilin Clark, she doesn't hide from the press. That's what superstar players do. Win or lose, you speak to the media. Joining her for this press conference Thursday night, possibly in an attempt to eliminate some of her anonymity, was Aaliyah Boston. Of course, you wouldn't know that Aaliyah Boston was even there based on the behavior of the media. You could have put a cardboard cutout in her place, it would have been the same thing. Every single question from the media directed to Catilin Clark. Now keep in mind, this is the same media that claims to pay attention to the entire WNBA. This is the same media that claims they want to spotlight all the players in this league. At one point, Catilin Clark, she got agitated with the media ignoring and disrespecting her teammate. Katie Rue demanded that the media ask Aaliyah Boston some questions. Watch for yourself.
We had been doing a better job of that, but I didn't feel like tonight was like our best. You could ask some Aaliyah question. Ask Aaliyah a question.
First of all, let me give Aaliyah Boston some unsolicited advice. Have you guys ever seen the Netflix show Rhythm and Flow? Came out 5, maybe 6 years ago. Judges on the show were Cardi B, T.I., and Chance the Rapper. They put anonymous rappers through all these competitions, and the winning rapper ended up winning, I think, $250,000. But there was a rapper on the show named Flawless Real Talk. He had just given an amazing performance with Jhené Aiko. They performed one of her singles that featured Kendrick Lamar. And this Flawless dude, he wrote and performed his own verse that replaced Kendrick Lamar in the song. After the performance, everyone is praising him. The crowd gave him a standing ovation. The judges, they are telling him how great he is. This dude interrupts all the praise that he is getting, and he starts talking about and praising Kendrick Lamar. T.I., he quickly interrupts Flawless Real Talk and says, "What the hell are you doing? We're showing you all this love and you start talking about Kendrick Lamar, another dude? When the spotlight is on you, you never redirect it towards someone else." When I saw Aaliyah Boston shy away from the spotlight that Catilin Clark was generously trying to give her, I immediately thought of this advice from T.I. When you're in the business of entertainment, which is the business that Aaliyah Boston is in, and someone is handing you the spotlight, you don't turn it down. You don't say thanks, but no thanks. You take that shit. Catilin Clark, she is literally handing you the cameras, and you're trying to turn it down? Well, KC, maybe Aaliyah Boston is shy. Maybe she doesn't want the spotlight. That might be true. And look, I'm not trying to come down on her. I'm not trying to criticize her, but this is the same problem that I had the other day with Angel Reese when she hid herself from the media. Angel Reese claims that she wants to be a star. She claims that she wants to be remembered as someone who helped elevate the WNBA. At the same time, she doesn't want to speak to the media. She doesn't want the criticism that comes along with the spotlight. You can't have it both ways. Anyway, the point is, the mainstream media claims to care about the entire WNBA, but they don't. Just like you, they only care about Catilin Clark. And the reason the media only cares about Catilin Clark is because Catilin Clark pays the bills. If Donna Taurasi was generating millions of clicks, the media would write articles about dashing Donna. If Bob Griner was generating interest, the media would be covering Bobby G. The media used to cover Bob Griner. When she was vacationing with Vlad Pooter, Bob was in the mainstream headlines every day. As soon as she returned home, people no longer cared. As a result, the media no longer cared. Last month, the media tried to pretend to care about Brittany Griner. Remember when she was promoting her book? The media was praising her for sharing her traumatic experience in Mother Russia. Once the book was released, we never heard about it again. Why? I don't know, maybe it didn't sell. I don't know, I couldn't find the numbers on her book sales. Bob Griner, though, she only received, I think, around 600 reviews on Amazon. The Whoopee Cushion from The View, she released a book around the same time. She has almost 2,000 reviews, so maybe Brittany Griner's book didn't sell. Anyway, give me your thoughts on this. Catilin Clark tells the media to focus on her teammates. Oddly enough, Aaliyah Boston tries to turn the spotlight down. Does the media really care about the WNBA, or do they only care about Catilin Clark and they just refuse to admit it? Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share the video. Appreciate your support. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.